mother didn't expect to have anything to do with the Christmas pageant, except to make me and my brother Charlie be in it. We didn't want to, and to make my father go to it. He didn't want to. Actually, he went every year, but it was always a struggle. My mother said it was her contribution to the pageant, getting my father to go to it. Of course, nobody thought of the Herdmans in connection with the Christmas pageant. The Herdmans were absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and hit little kids and cussed their teachers and took the name of the Lord in vain. Most of us spent all week in school being pounded and poked and pushed around by the Herdmans, and we looked forward to Sunday as a real day of rest.
Did you have to say it right out loud in front of everybody?
Why not, Dad? It's the best thing about Sunday school.
What's the best thing about Sunday school?
There aren't any Herdmans there ever.
And Charlie felt he had to say that with the whole Sunday school. Not a very Christian sentiment.
But a very practical one. Charlie was black and blue all last year because they had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is Leroy the worst one?
They're all the worst ones.
Gladys puts worms in your lunchbox, inside your sandwich,
And Claude let all the mice out.
Oh, come on, you guys. 6 little kids? They can't be that bad.
My father is wrong. No one is worse than the Herdmans. They are so all-round awful you can hardly believe they are real. Rolf, Imogene, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys. 6 stringy-haired kids, all alike except for being different sizes and having different black and blue places where they clonk each other. The Herdmans didn't know where their father was. When Gladys was 2 years old, he hopped aboard a railroad train and disappeared. Nobody blamed him. Now and then you see Mrs. Herdman walking their cat around the block on this big, long chain. But she works 2 shifts at the shoe factory and isn't home much. Nobody blames her either. We figured they were all headed straight to the devil by the way of the state penitentiary.
Now remember, you two, tryouts for the Christmas pageant are coming up.
I don't want to be a shepherd.
Then tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Think how I'd feel sitting there on Christmas Eve with my own 2 kids not in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
No.
You know Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, she just likes to run things.
She got all tangled up in that telephone cord, fell down the stairs, and broke her leg.
I wonder what they're going to do about all those things she's in charge of. I'll take over the bazaar, Edna, if you'll do the potluck supper. I don't know what we'll do about the pageant unless...
I just can't, Edna. I've got company all Christmas week. How about Grace?
So glad you called. How about Grace?
Hello, Grace?
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Oh, you have my sympathy.
Is that all?
No, you can also have my bathrobe for a shepherd.
And?
Nope, that's it, Grace. Sympathy and a bathrobe.
It's not like I don't have enough to do already. Spectorama, jinglelicious, tinsel, ribbon-ismus. Things we do this time of year to take the place of Christmas. It's a fact the birthday of the king has somehow missed us. Spectorama, jinglelicious, tinsel, ribbon-ismus. We shop for cards and trees and such in snow and sleet and ice. When Santa says be good, we try to take his sound advice. There's traffic at the shopping malls that no one can believe. packages that must be wrapped in time for Christmas Eve. Oh, Spectorama, Jinglelicious, Tinsel, Ribbonismus, things we do this time of year to take the place of Christmas. It's a fact the birthday of the King has somehow missed us. Spectorama, Jinglelicious, Tinsel, Ribbonismus. A coat for Mama, tie for Dad, a dress for Guinevere. And don't forget the card for John, he sent us one last year. With lights to hang and food to bake and trees to decorate. Until the season's over, there's no time to celebrate. Oh, Spectorama, Jinglelicious, Tinsel, Ribbonismus, things we do this time of year to take the place of Christmas. It's a fact the birthday of the King has somehow missed us. Spectorama, Jinglelicious, Tinsel, Ribbonismus. Spectorama, Jinglelicious, Tinsel, Ribbonismus, things we do this time of year to take the place of Christmas. It's a fact the birthday of the King has somehow missed us. Spectorama, Jinglelicious, Tinsel, Ribbonismus. Spectorama, Jinglelicious, Tinsel, Ribbonismus.
That looks good. My mom made brownies yesterday.
Better eat it quick or Leroy Herdman will get it. I heard your mother's gonna direct the Christmas pageant.
Yeah.
I hope you're gonna be in the angel choir again. You're so good in the angel choir.
Don't worry, Alice. I don't want to be Mary. I don't even want to be in the angel choir. But everybody has to be something.
Hey! Hey, Leroy! Give me back my lunch!
Sure, kid. Here.
You stole my dessert again!
How do you know?
It isn't here.
What was it?
2 brownies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you want my dessert tomorrow? The next day, you can have it. We get all the dessert we want. Church, chocolate cake, cookies, ice cream. We get refreshments all the time.
Well, yeah, who gives them to you?
The minister.
Why, is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
You guessed it. The following Sunday, the Herdmans showed up in church because of Charlie's big lie. Before service was even over, they cleared out the collection plates, scribbled on the hymnals, and stuck gum all over the pews. It so happened that this was the Sunday for Reverend Hopkins' annual announcement.
We will be starting rehearsals soon for our annual children's Christmas pageant, and next week after Sunday school, we will decide who will play the main roles. We hope that every boy and girl who would like to be a part in this year's play will be there.
Imogen dug me in the ribs after church and asked me what the pageant was about. When I told her it was about Jesus, she muttered, "Everything here is." And I figured she didn't much care about the Christmas pageant. But I was wrong.
I can't begin to tell you how important it is to give everybody a chance. I always start with Mary. I tell them Mary was the mother of Jesus, and we must choose our Mary carefully.
I know that, Helen.
Of course, Alice Wendelkin's always Mary. They know that, but you must make the rest of them feel important.
Helen, I have to go.
I always say, there are no small parts, only small actors.
I'm leaving now, Helen.
And don't let the angel choir wear lipstick.
Goodbye, Helen.
Use bath salts or frankincense, because no one knows what frankincense looks like.
I bet she told you about no small parts, only small actors.
And getting somebody to shove the baby angels on and make the shepherds shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father. All right, now, boys and girls, let's settle down so we can choose who will play the main parts in our pageant. All right, of course, you'll all have important parts. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always says. There are no small parts, only small actors.
But she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means that all the short kids have to sit in the front row, or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. It means that the littlest baby angel is as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Oh, everyone is important. Mary, Joseph, and the short kids. Now, all you baby angels are going to need bed sheets from home, so be sure to tell your mothers. The angel choir will wear the red robes from last year. I need everyone's attention. What is it, children? All right, now let's make room for the herdmans. All right, now there will be 4 rehearsals, so it's important for everyone to come to all the rehearsals.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick, Hobie. Mary, Joseph, and the wise men must absolutely come to every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Hobie. Now let's talk about the characters. Mary was quiet and gentle and kind, so the sort of girl we need to play Mary needs to be that kind of person.
Hey!
Did you have a question, Imogene?
I'll be Mary. And Rolf over there, he'll be the Joseph.
Well, I was really asking for volunteers, Imogene, and then we'll all decide who it will be. Imogene wants to play Mary. Who else wants to be Mary? Just raise your hands. Janet? Roberta, how about you? Alice, aren't you going to volunteer this year?
No, I don't want to. I'll be Mary. Shut up, Gladys. I'm already Mary. You be a wise guy. Wise man. What's a wise man?
It's an old guy with a beard. I'll be a wise man. Me too. Ollie, you want to be a wise guy? Raise your hand.
What's left to be? Some angel. What is it? It's the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds.
I'll be that.
Oh, good. We have some volunteers. Hobie, would you like to be a wise man?
No, I'd just like to say I can't be a shepherd. We're going to Philadelphia.
Well, why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered my mother told me I can't be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know, she just told me not to be a shepherd. I don't want to be a shepherd either. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. I don't want to hear another word about it. No shepherds may quit or get sick.
Why didn't you volunteer? I didn't dare volunteer. Imogene would have killed me. She got me in the ladies' room instead. I'm gonna be Mary in this play. And if you open your mouth or raise your hand, you're gonna wish you didn't. Because if you do, next spring when the Pussy Willows come out, I'm gonna stick a Pussy Willow so far down your ear where nobody can reach it. It'll sprout there and grow and grow and grow. And you'll spend the rest of your life with the Pussy Willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. Herdmans will do anything. They'll ruin the pageant, and it's all your mother's fault. She should have told them no.
What kind of a girl is that to play Mary, the mother of Jesus?
It's sacrilegious.
So I told her, if you can't get rid of them, why don't you set up programs at the door? We'd better nail down that church and lock up the silverware.
Classroom scene, get ready.
Who let them in? Where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? Oh, I feel so responsible. If I
Classroom
wasn't
scene,
laid up in
get
this
ready.
hospital, this never would
What have happened, And that woman, she must be surprised that the sun is still coming up every morning without her to supervise the sunrise. Let me tell you.
Don't tell me, I'm on your side.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever, and I'm going to do it with the Herdmans.
The Herdmans were the closest thing to criminals that we knew about. And they were going to represent the best and most beautiful. No wonder everybody was so worked up. Reverend Hopkins got fed up with all the complaints and told everybody where to get off. Of course, he didn't say, "Go jump in the lake, Mrs. Wendelkin," or anything like that. He just reminded everybody that when Jesus said, "Suffer the little children to come unto me," he meant everyone, including the Herdmans. So that shut everybody up. And the next Wednesday, we started rehearsals.
Everyone, I need the shepherds over here, please, baby angels. You're fine right where you are. Try not to shove or push each other. Our manger's over here. Our inn is over here. Everybody?
Where did all the shepherds come from anyway?
Yeah, what's an inn?
It's like a motel.
Why did they go there?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel?
Shut up, Leroy. Hey, begin at the beginning. What happened first?
This is the Christmas story from the Bible, the book of Luke.
Luke who?
You mean you've never read the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this Christmas pageant is all about. Sit down. I'm going to read it to you. It's a beautiful story. We should all hear it again. Mary and Joseph also went out of Galilee into Judea to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, to be taxed with Mary his wife, who was great with child.
What's that?
It means she was pregnant. She was pregnant.
I don't think it's very nice to say that Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And she gave birth to her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for him in the inn.
They didn't have room for Jesus.
Well, they didn't know he was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph that he didn't tell them? Her pregnant and everything.
What's a manger? Like a bed?
Well, they didn't have any bed in the barn, so Mary did the best thing she could. What would you do if you had a newborn baby and no bed to put him in?
We put Gladys in a dresser drawer.
There, you see, you didn't have any bed for Gladys, and so you...
Oh, we had a bed, but Ollie was still in it. He wouldn't get out. He didn't like lettuce. Remember how he didn't like Gladys, Ollie?
A manger is a large wooden feeding box for animals.
What was the wadded up clothes? You're right about it. He wrapped them up in wadded up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap their babies tightly in big pieces of material.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare? The child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes. There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem. I'll say there wasn't. What's next?
There were shepherds keeping watch by night, and lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them.
Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night with horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvo!
Gladys, I don't know what you're talking about.
The mighty Marvo in Wonder Comics.
No, this is the angel of the Lord who comes to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? In the black night, right?
Well, yes, in a way.
Shazam! She makes the Christmas story sound like something out of Close Encounters.
Actually, it was a close encounter of sorts. It was a close encounter of a very special kind. for my wise men, raise your hands. Listen to this now. There came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold, frankincense.
What's frankincense?
I don't know.
They were special gifts, precious oils.
Oil? What kind of a gift is oil? We get better presents in the welfare basket. I get it. The wise men were the welfare.
No, they were sent by King Herod.
Wait a minute. Who's he?
Yeah, what'd he do?
Well, he sent them to find Jesus so that they could put him to death.
He just got born. They're gonna kill a baby.
Who's Herod in this play?
Well, Herod isn't in this play.
You mean he's out to kill a baby, and he isn't even in the play?
Well, no, he's...
Well, somebody better be Herod.
No, Imogen, we're going to do the pageant the way...
Let Charlie be Herod. And he says, get me that baby. And they do it, because he's king enough.
Then they don't do it. They go back and they get Herod.
Take that, Herod. Take that.
I'm not going to be Herod.
No one is going to be Herod.
No. Joseph takes the shepherds and they go wipe out Herod.
See? They're going to put Herod in, and it's going to be me, and I'm going to get killed.
Forget about Herod. There's no Herod.
And I go stash the baby till the fight's over.
Children, stop that. Everybody listen to me now.
Ginger. Come on here. Ginger. Well, I wouldn't just hang around with that baby in a barn in the middle of winter. I'd go kick somebody out of the motel.
I wouldn't bring junk gifts like oil either.
And if I were a king, I wouldn't be born in a crummy barn and put in a feed box.
If I were a king, I'd sit on a throne, I'd make the world bow down to me. Wearing my crown, I'd gather them round, and all together they would tell me how great I am. I wouldn't be born in a stable, a palace so fine they'd build just for me. If I were a king, this is how it would be. If I were a king, I'd be the best king. I'd make decrees and win the wars. Marching so tall, I'd conquer it all, and I would give my people something to cheer about. Never so poor, so lowly. My riches and wealth, they'd all come to see. If I were a king, this is how it would be. A king I'd be, the best one ever. A king I'd be. It wouldn't happen like this, no, never, never. If I were a king, a great king I'd be. Over the world, they'd know my name, shouting it out without a doubt. I'd make them all remember the greatest of kings is me. Not in a town like this, Bethlehem, Jerusalem fine. Yes, that's for me. If I were a king, this is how it would be. If I were a king, this is how it would be.
What's the name of this play anyway? She never said.
Christmas Pageant. That's no name. That's what it is.
I know a name. I'd call it Revenge at Bethlehem.
Yeah!
couldn't understand the Herdmans. You would have thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. They got so involved in it. Wanted a bloody end to Herod, worried about Mary having her baby in the barn, and called the wise men a bunch of dirty spies. They left the first rehearsal arguing whether Joseph should have set fire to the inn or just chased the innkeeper to the next country.
Tell me all about it.
Just suppose you'd never heard the Christmas story, didn't know anything about it, and then somebody told it to you. What would you think?
I guess I think it was pretty disgraceful. They didn't have any room for a pregnant woman except in the barn.
Exactly! It was perfectly disgraceful. And I never thought about it much. You hear so much about the nice warm stable and the sweet-smelling hay, but that doesn't change the fact that they put Mary in a barn. Let me tell you, it's clear to me that deep down those children have some good instincts after all.
I don't know if I agree. Sounds like their chief instinct is to burn Herod at the stake.
No, their chief instinct was to get Mary and the baby out of the barn. But even so, it was Herod they wanted to do away with, and not Mary or Joseph. They picked out the right villain. That must mean something.
Maybe so.
I was amazed. It didn't seem natural for my father to be on the same side as the Herdmans, but then it didn't seem natural for the Herdmans to be on the right side of anything. It would have made more sense for them to be on Herod's side. All the people who kept hoping that the Herdmans would get bored and leave were out of luck. They showed up at every rehearsal, right on time, and did exactly what they were supposed to do. But they were still Herdmans, and there was at least one person who didn't forget that for a minute. Alice, what is it you're writing in that book? No baby because of Imogene? Gladys drinks communion wine? It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal crayons from the Sunday school cupboards, too. And if you shake the happy birthday bank in the kindergarten room, it doesn't make a sound. They stole all the pennies out of that.
How did you ever think to go shake the happy birthday bank?
And when you go in the ladies' room, the whole air is blue, and Imogene Herdman is sitting there in the Mary costume, smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down? What for?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid and anyone else who wants to know what happened when the whole Christmas pageant turns out to be a disaster.
Here, Imogene, take this until we get a real baby.
I thought Eugene Slocum was going to be Jesus.
Mrs. Slocum changed her mind.
If I was Mary, Mrs. Slocum wouldn't change her mind.
I'll get us a baby. There's always 2 or 3 babies outside the supermarket. I'll get one.
No, Imogene, you can't just go and take someone's baby. Just use the doll. You know you're all supposed to be in costume.
I don't have any wings. And my mother doesn't have any white teeth. Can I wear seats with balloons on them?
Yes. We'll have to find wings for both of you. Imogen, you know Mary would never wear earrings.
But I just got my ears pierced. And if I don't put something in them, they'll grow together.
They won't grow together in an hour and a half. You pierced your ears.
Gladys.
I haven't got a costume. I've never been a shepherd before.
You have to use your father's bathrobe. That's right.
We haven't got a bathrobe.
Then what does he hang around the house in?
His underwear.
Walk slowly, quietly, beautiful.
I've got the baby here. Don't touch him. I named him Jesus.
Imogen, no, Mary doesn't say anything. Stop that. Mary and Joseph say nothing. They just sit there and make a lovely picture for everyone to look at and think about Christmas and what it meant. Now go put the doll back in the manger.
She didn't even get to name her own baby. I would have named him Bill.
Let's take a 5-minute break and then we'll start over.
Nobody knew what had happened, including the Herdmans, but I guess that they figured that whatever it was, they had done it. So they left. Why in the world did you call the fire department? My mother asked Mrs. McCarthy when she finally heard the whole story. Mrs. McCarthy stuck to the defense that she wasn't expecting to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room. Mrs. McCarthy didn't know the Herdmans very well. It turned out to be the one great big sinful thing Alice kept hoping for. Mrs. Windlekin read all of Alice's notes, got on the phone that very night, and called everyone she could think of, including Reverend Hopkins.
I've been on the phone all day. People think they set fire to the ladies' room. People think they set fire to the kitchen. Vera Wendelkin says all they talk about is sex and underwear.
That was Hobie Carmichael.
It might just be a better all-around idea to cancel the pageant.
I bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
You could blame it on the fire.
There wasn't any fire. The committee let its applesauce cake burn up.
It would be a perfect excuse.
I bet that was Edna McCarthy's idea. Well, I didn't ask to run the pageant, but I got stuck with it. And I certainly didn't handpick the Herdmans, but no one else volunteered. I don't think we should cancel it. I think it's going to be the best Christmas pageant ever.
Grace, I don't think anyone will come to see it.
You know it always looks like this, big and barren and it's empty.
I know.
Well, it's not going to be empty. Look at me, I came.
It's not going to be full either. Where are the kids?
All the kids in the world are downstairs sitting on bed sheets.
I mean our kids. We're here. You better get your costumes on. It's getting late.
Oh, Mom, do we have to? It's just going to be awful, you know. We were already down there and saw them. They look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were. They were refugees. They were a long place from home. They didn't have any place to stay, and they didn't know anybody. They were probably cold and hungry and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure are messy.
You better hurry up. I have no idea what may happen here tonight. This may well be the first pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men end up in a fight and Mary runs off with the baby. Gladys, come on, let's have a look at you.
I'm going to say more than just the baby came. I'm going to say it's Jesus and where he is.
No, you say, unto you a child is born. And that's all you tell them.
You tell them unto me. I'm the one who had the baby.
Unto all of us, unto everyone, that's what it means. Go on, hurry up. Imogene, try to remember that this is a real baby, and for tonight, the baby Jesus.
Ever since I saw you, I just wanted to do one thing. That's to tell you I love you. Just can't seem to find a way. Just can't find the words to say that will tell how I really feel. Long before I found you here, I wonder how I'd feel if ever I would meet you, if the promises were real. And just as I imagined, it's greater than I dreamed. All I can say to you today is thank you, and it seems that ever since I saw you, I just wanted to do one thing. That's to tell you I love you. Just can't seem to find a way. Just can't find the words to say that will tell how I really feel. I just wanted to do one thing. That's to tell you I love you.
Imogene, my mother says to come upstairs now.
And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in the manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
Away
occurred to me that this was the way it must have been for the real Holy Family, stuck away in a barn by people who didn't much care what happened to them. They couldn't have been very neat and tidy either, but more like this Mary and Joseph. Imogene had the baby doll, but she wasn't carrying it the way she was supposed to, cradled in her arms. She had it slung over her shoulder, and before she put it in the manger, she gave it 2 thumps on the back. Alice gasped and said, "I don't think it's very nice to birth the baby Jesus, as if he had colic." I didn't see why not. After all, that was the whole point of Jesus, that he didn't come down on a cloud like something out of Amazing Comics, but that he was born and lived, a real person.
And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the fields, keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. The angel of the Lord came upon them. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, when the angel of the Lord appeared to them and said, "Fear not."
Hey! Hey! Unto you a child is born, and it's Jesus, and he's in the barn. Go on, go! Go on up! Go! Go! Go!
What do you want? What do you feel? Is it something you see? Can you reach out with your hand and take it right now, or can you just believe? What's down inside? What's in your heart? Is it real or just dreams? Dreams that will never come true, 'cause you won't let go. Just plain let go and believe.
And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men."
Fear not, shepherds, don't be afraid. I bring you good tidings of joy. This night is born in Bethlehem a Savior, a baby boy.
And there came wise men from the east, saying, Where is he who is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are here to worship him. And they found the child with Mary his mother, and falling down they worshipped him, and brought him gifts of gold, frankincense, and ham? Then being warned in a dream they should not return to Herod, they returned to their own country another way. The shepherds also returned, praising and glorifying God for all the things they had heard and seen. But Mary kept these things and pondered them in her heart.
To me that the Herdmans had improved the pageant a lot just by doing what had come naturally. Like burping the baby, for instance, or thinking that ham would make a better gift than a lot of perfumed oils. Usually by the time we got to Silent Night, I was fed up with the whole thing and couldn't wait for it to get over. But I didn't feel that way this time. I almost wished for the pageant to go on, with the herders in charge, to see what else they would do differently. Then I looked at Imogene, and I couldn't believe my eyes. Everyone had been waiting all this time for the Herdmans to do something absolutely unexpected. And sure enough, that was what happened. Imogene Herdman was crying. In the candlelight, her face was all shiny with tears, and she didn't even bother to wipe them away. She just sat there, awful old Imogene, in her crookedy veil, crying and crying and crying. And this was the funny thing about it all. For years I thought about the wonder of Christmas and the mystery of Jesus' birth, and never really understood it all. But because of the Herdmans, it didn't seem so mysterious after all.
I guess that's it. It was quite a pageant. What's that you've got?
It's the ham. They wouldn't take it back. Leroy said it's a present and you don't take back presents. They didn't take any of the candy or the little Bibles either. But Imogene did ask me for a set of Bible story pictures and took the one of Mary and said that they were exactly right, whatever that means.
Come on, kids, let's go home.
Well, it was the best Christmas pageant we ever had. Everybody said so, but nobody seemed to know why. When it was over, people stood around the lobby talking about what was different this year. There was something special, everybody said. They couldn't put their finger on it. When Imogene asked me what the pageant was about, I told her it was about Jesus. But that was only part of it. It's about a newborn baby and its mother and father who are in a whole lot of trouble. No place to go, no money, no doctor, nobody they knew. But Imogene, I guess, didn't see it that way. Christmas just came over her all at once, like she had just caught on to the idea of Christmas, like she had just caught on to the idea of the wonder of Christmas and the mystery of Jesus' birth, like a case of chills and fevers. As far as I'm concerned, Mary will always look like Imogene Herdman, sort of nervous and bewildered. And the wise men will always look like Leroy and his brothers, bearing ham. I think the reason that this was the best Christmas pageant ever is because being a part of it made Christmas happen inside of me. Make me a celebration. Let Christmas happen in me. Fill me with wonder that Jesus has come. I know you can make me a grand celebration. So show me the joy of Christmas. Help me to give it away. Oh, fill me with wonder that Jesus has come and make me a grand celebration. Like Mary, please help me be willing. Like the shepherds, please bring me surprise. Like wise men, please make me a seeker, a giver, and keep Christmas light
like to call your attention to the words of that verse that the choir was just singing. Like Mary, please help me be willing. Like the shepherds, please bring me surprise.